What in the goddamn holy motherfucking hell is the UFC doing with these advertisements?
Chorus girl, Dustin,
I was trained to fight, but I was born to dance.
kick, dance with your heart,
I wanna
please.
feel the fire.
Smile.
I wanna break free.
Big days.
So there's a dance for me.
Stop! Stop!
You wouldn't want to see Fight the musical,
Okay, that's not good.
but you would want to drink great coffee. Black Rifle Coffee.
Not right, we're not kicking. Chorus girl.
It's a Black Rifle Coffee commercial. Oh! I pressed the wrong button to start things off with today, fuckers. Welcome to the DynamiteGizmo podcast, everyone. Episode 288. 288! Woo! Woo! 288. What the hell, man? What the hell are you thinking? Come on, buddy. Here's today's card. It's tradition around here to show you the card, but it's not tradition to show you what's on the card. But you'll find out anyway, because we'll talk about it. What is this card, you may ask? Well, why don't we take a look together? This is a fight prediction sheet. I make these for every I make these for every numbered event and every fight night, okay? You can click the link in the description and download this motherfucker for yourself. It's got the early prelims, and the main card. It's got everything you need to know about each fight individually. Let's go ahead and zoom in to fight number 12. Dan Ige versus Melky Costa. Okay? Before the night begins, actually, you go through every single fight and you check off the pick selection for the fighter you think will win. As the fights play out, you check off the win section for the fighter who actually wins. Now, if we look at each block individually, you can see it has the weight class, the fighter names, the fight record, the Vegas betting odds, their nickname, a picture of the fighter, their country of origin flag, and their ranking up here. So even if you don't give a fuck or know anything about the UFC when you print these off for your family members, they can still utilize that information to make their picks. Also, there's notes sections underneath every single row. At the end of the night, you check off the rating of the card on what you thought out of 5 stars, and if it flopped, missed, met, beyond, or exceeded your expectations. Along each row here, we have different facts about the fighters and or fights throughout the night. It tells you the location, city, and country in which this fight will be held. We've got the fight poster over here, and whether it's a fight night or a numbered event on this side. Bada boom, bada bing, everything you need. At the very end of the night, you write your name and the score out of 14 at the bottom here and see how you did. You can utilize these sheets however you'd like, and I make them completely free. Link is in the description, baby. Let's move on to the podcast. It's been a heck of a day today for me, my friends, my fine feathered friends. For those who don't live in Canada, or specifically in Alberta, it's a cold motherfucking day. We've had a couple weeks of warm weather, but it's now come back to the cold, which was expected. Okay, it's February. It's supposed to be cold, but we were blessed with warm weather, and now we are doomed with freezing cold temperatures. It was negative 30 degrees Celsius today, and it's about to get colder overnight, and it's going to get even colder tomorrow. And I was having some truck issues this morning. The truck started fine, but my defrost refuses to work. It's a the vent door actuator or some shit. Blend door actuator. It's fucking up on me. But that's besides the point. Okay, we've got Strickland versus Hernandez this weekend. That's the card that you just saw. Ronda Rousey is going to be fighting Gina Carano. How fun. And we're going to touch on the White House card a little bit, maybe at some point, I don't know. Ian Garry's got some fight news or some mysterious things going on. We're going to just discuss that as well. But why don't we jump into the first thing that I want to talk about tonight, and that is Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. Okay? If you haven't heard already, she has an MMA fight booked with MVP. If you're not familiar with MVP, that's Most Valuable Promotions. Jake Paul's boxing promotion that he has established and is a part of. They are now moving into the MMA space. And let me just show you a clip here of the promotion that they've got going on. Double D, double die, double do, double dumb, duckaroo, cuckafuck, shuckaroo, knockasuck. Here we go. Ronda Rousey. There she is. Oh, kicks you right in the face. Gina picks it up. God damn. I'm going to get flagged for this music. It's on Netflix, baby. MVP. Ronda Rousey. Gina Carano. Netflix. Huh? What you think about that? Now, I got to be completely honest here, folks. I'm going to lay it all out on the line, all on the table. I'm going to let you know what my thoughts on this, okay? Because I got to be completely fucking honest. I completely flipped the script from my initial reaction towards this. Sure, it's a solid matchup. It's a big move for MVP transitioning into the MMA world with names like this. And yes, more competition for the UFC is generally a good thing. Pressure can force improvement. If, that is, improvement is even necessary or required at this point. At first, with this announcement, I was taken aback. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano on Netflix in MMA? I was like, how could this be? This is fucking huge. My immediate reaction was that the UFC need to hunker down and absolutely scramble to get something fucking going with that White House card, whether it's McGregor, or should I say specifically McGregor, specifically John Jones. Under no circumstance can you let this MVP card outshine the White House card. Forget the past, forget the unreliability, forget contract drama. Do whatever it takes to win the attention war. I fully convinced myself this could overshadow the White House card and become one of the biggest MMA cards of the year. And then I sat on it all day, and I really thought about it. And I came to a realization, you know what? Who gives a shit? Right? From the wise words of Dana White when he talks about Tom Aspinall, who gives a shit? No offense to Ronda or Gina, but is this really that big? Ronda is 39 years old. She's on a 2-fight losing streak and hasn't fought since 2016. Gina Carano is 43 years old on a 1-fight losing streak and hasn't fought since 2009. What exactly was I so concerned about? This fight is not harming the UFC. It's not even coming close. Sure, it helps MVP plant their flag in MMA, but threaten the UFC? Nah, baby. I heard the names, I heard the hype from the media, and I immediately rushed to my computer ready to sound the alarms. But I didn't. I waited. And I'm actually glad I had the buffer period to sit and think. because I fully convinced myself this was massive news. But it really isn't. And honestly, I don't really give two shits. Does anybody actually care that Ronda is coming back to MMA? I mean, we'll watch it, sure. But Islam could be fighting Taptura at some point. That's the real news. That's the real stakes. Ronda even reached out to Dana about coming back, and apparently it did not work. Here's what she had to say here. On ESPN Sports Center. Whoops.
I always said that Gina is the one person I'd come back to fight for. The more that I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I need this. I really need this fight. And I reached out to Dana and asked him if he would be interested in it. And it didn't exactly work out with the UFC, but it led us to here today. I was 9 months pregnant, and I saw...
9 months pregnant, huh? That's all we need to know. All I wanted to let you know is that she reached out to Dana, and Dana was like, fuck you. We don't want you here. And I get it. Okay? Why bring her back? The UFC is so far removed from her era. And she certainly didn't exactly leave on the best terms. The UFC is for the elite in their prime. There's a reason these other promotions are filled with all of the retired or past their prime fighters that have left the UFC. That's how they build short-term credibility. Big recognizable names from a different era, fighters whose peak already happened in the UFC. But as long as the best up-and-coming prospects in the world are still clawing and fighting their way into the UFC, these other organizations are always going to be one step behind. Because the UFC is the apex predator. They sign them young, they develop them, they keep them in their prime, and when they're done with them, they spit out the bones and the vultures circle to gather the scraps. MVP, PFL, Bellator, whoever the fuck it may be, picking at whatever scraps still have name value attached to them, trying to squeeze the last bit of juice out of a career that already peaked inside the octagon. That's the business, and it works in favor for the UFC. How can MVP compete with that long term? They can't. They absolutely, positively, 100% cannot. The UFC is going to the White House. The motherfucking White House, dude! That alone carries more weight than anything MVP could possibly manufacture, regardless of who's on the card. Honestly, I'd bet even a fight night like the one we're getting this weekend will be more competitive and more exciting skill-wise than this Ronda card. Now, yes, Ronda versus Gina on Netflix will get eyeballs because of the fact that it's on Netflix. And that's the real threat here. It isn't the fighters. It's Netflix. More people are going to have a Netflix subscription than a Paramount subscription, so more casual viewers might simply stumble across the Ronda card. But even if more eyes land on it, is it even going to deliver? Skill-wise, I doubt it. I fucking doubt it. Both Ronda and Gina are far removed from their prime. The undercard is likely going to be filled with unknowns. There might be names on there, but again, it's going to be retired motherfuckers. The only saving grace is that it's MMA and not boxing. At least in MMA, you have the chaos factor with knockouts and submissions and wild moments. Even on a massive boxing card, most of the undercard goes to decisions, if not all of it. You're lucky if you get one explosive finish, if even that. So why was I worried? Why was I even stressing about this? There's nothing here that meaningfully threatens the UFC. I genuinely feel like a fool for even thinking this was some sort of massive seismic shift. It's not at all. This means nothing. So let me ask you, be honest with me, okay? Do you actually care about Ronda Rousey returning to MMA? Or is this just nostalgia bait that won't live up to the hype? Come on, brother. Let me know in the comments, would ya? Now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and guys, gals and girls, I need to tell y'all that this weekend, Jonathan Strickland is back, going up against Anthony the Fluffinator Hernandez. And this is our second segment of the evening. Okay? We didn't get a card last weekend, but we certainly do this weekend. And by George, I can't wait to watch it. And I'm going to do a standing solo live stream on this channel. So if you're interested to play some UFC bingo, watch some UFC live together with me, then tune in at whatever time the card starts. I don't know. Look it up. You have Google. Finally, Strickland has returned after losing to Duplessis for the second time. It's been almost exactly 1 full year since we've seen Strickland fight. But that wasn't entirely because he didn't want to fight. It was because of this. Let's watch it together, if you have not seen it already. This happened last year in July, I believe. Yes, it was July. Let's take a watch. Let's just take a watch, okay? Don't listen to me. Let's just take a watch.
Himself in danger. Hernandez.
Chris Tione watching real closely here.
Hernandez, I think, just stuck his tongue out to Sean Strickland, so I saw Sean smirk.
And that is the end. The stash. Luis Hernandez gets it done.
He's talking to Chris Curtis and Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Strickland.
Oh, wow. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, I saw him sticking his tongue out at Sean.
Oh, yeah, that's way out of line, though, man. You can't. Come on, Sean. Wow.
You like that? You guys are not in time?
I mean, there was definitely some showboating there.
So that happened. What? Ow, 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 ow! Back in July of 2025, Sean's teammate lost a matchup at the Tough Enough MMA promotion, which is what we just saw that happened there. After the fight, the winner taunted Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland in the audience. That's when things went sideways. They stormed into the octagon. Strickland was, of course, the only one who actually landed a few shots on the guy, stomping in there like an angry toddler. And I have a clip here of Moicano demonstrating the exact motion in which Sean Strickland flopped into that octagon. So why don't we watch this together, because it's kind of fun and funny.
Sean Strickland in the corner. The guy give the dick to him. Like a old motherfucker.
Oh man, that's exactly the way it is. Moicano's a good boy. And because of that incident, Strickland received what was initially rumored to be an indefinite suspension by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So for a while, there was real concern that we may never see Strickland fight again. But it turned out to be a 6-month suspension, which meant just last month, Strickland was finally cleared to return. And luckily for him, the timing lined up perfectly for him to jump right onto the Texas card against none other than Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. This is a fight Strickland has been calling for a while. And it's exactly the type of fight Fluffy needs if he wants to solidify his shot at the title. Now, personally, I think Hernandez has already done enough, but you know how it goes in the UF motherfucking C. Just look at Lerone Murphy. Fluffy is currently on an 8-fight win streak in the UFC. The last time he lost was to Kevin Holland back in 2020. That's a serious run, my friend. But there is one problem that has definitely held Hernandez back from the belt, and that is fight cancellations. He has had 10 fight cancellations since 2021. 6 of those 10 were at fault of Hernandez. That's not a great look when you're trying to position yourself as a reliable title challenger. That said, he's back on track now, and things seem to be moving in the right direction. And this fight doesn't just open the door for Hernandez. If Strickland wins, he's absolutely one of, if not the next in line for a title shot. Now imagine that. A matchup between Khamzat and Strickland. Sure, you could argue that Hernandez stands a better chance against Khamzat, but if I'm being honest, I don't think either of them stand much chance against him at all. If we rewind a few years, Strickland actually used to train with Khamzat. There was a video that surfaced of Sean telling Khamzat that he's better than everyone else in the gym and that he needs to cool it with his heavy sparring and takedowns. So we have a clip here. This was from 3 years ago, August 25th, 2022, and this was posted by the Mac Life, footage courtesy of Youssef Hollywood.
You want him the case, Conor?
What? Be nice. No, if you sparred him, no, he gets a little bit, yeah. Be nice. Gum is up. Understand, you're better than everybody. So just don't hurt people. So anybody that doesn't have a fight coming up, just float and grab a guy. Khamzat, Chris Curtis, you guys get picked of the litter.
Let's do it. You want to go first one round? Khamzat, you know throw him in the face?
No, he gets ski.
We're in first one. What happened here?
2 warm-up rounds, 5 rounds sparring. Feel free to do 3 if you want.
Alright, so warm up. Don't shoot, son. Warm up. See fire.
Warm up.
Don't shoot, Derek. Warm up.
Kill him first round?
So that's, I mean, you can watch the rest of it yourself if you like. There's not much more, but Khamzat was Khamzat was shooting takedowns on Chris Curtis during a warm-up. So, anyway, Khamzat was at Extreme Couture, which is what we just saw there, absolutely smashing everybody. There was also another clip circulating for a while where Strickland said he respects Khamzat for how hard he spars and that he thinks highly of him. But that was then, and I can't find that clip. Now Khamzat is the champ, and things are a little differently in terms of how Sean Strickland views Khamzat, which we have another clip back to back to watch here. Here we go. This is also by ESPN, I believe.
So, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird what the UFC did with Chimaev. You brought a guy in that fights once a year who's like Madonna, who probably gets like, you know, I mean, how much money does that dictator give him under the table? Like, the guy doesn't need to fight, dude. He's best friends with a warlord. He's just going to sit on that belt and wait until they force him to fight. But yeah, now the middleweight division, man, like from a pure money perspective, you would make more money not fighting for the belt than you would fighting for the belt. Say Chimaev goes and fights Nasruddin in 6 months. Well, let's say Chimaev sprains his pinky like he normally does. Now he takes another year off. So it's like you're off for 2 years. The belt isn't even like, it's not even in my brain anymore. I don't even think about it. Like I'll make significantly more money just fighting. You say, hey, you want to wait a year and a half and like not fight, or just keep fighting and fighting good guys and maybe taking an L? I'll just go fight good guys, maybe take an L, and I'll triple my pay. I'd just say Fluffy beats me and like, you know, Fluffy want you for a title fight. Well, I mean, he's going to fight Nasruddin in probably, 6 months? Fights Nasruddin, say they have a hard fight, or even if they have an easy fight, he sprains his pinky toe, he's out for another 8 months. So like, Fluffy, you're not fighting for a year and a half if you want to wait for that. And I'm sure you would, but it's like, me personally, I don't give a give me my paycheck. I want to go fight. Every fight, dude, the guy's like, I broke my hand. Dude, I have an x-ray. Want to see it? Like, my shoulder's broken. It's like every time this guy fights, he has a mysterious injury. It's just, why wait?
Why wait? I don't know. It's not really, whatever. It's not, okay. Strickland now says Khamzat is ruining the division with his lack of activity. And honestly, it's kind of a fair point. It's not exactly the way he specified it, but yes, he is not very active as he should be. There was a time when Khamzat was extremely active. Back in 2020, when he joined the UFC, he fought 3 times in 1 year. All performance of the night bonuses. He had insane momentum, and he had insane aura. Then he was scheduled to fight Leon Edwards 3 different times, back to back. And each bout was canceled due to COVID from both Leon and Chimaev. After that, he went on another 3-fight win streak over 2021 through 2022. He was supposed to fight Nate Diaz, but he came in overweight by 8.5 pounds. So yes, Khamzat has had fights canceled because of his own issues. But it's really only been 4 times compared to Fluffy's 6 times. Strickland is fighting Fluffy, so why isn't he mentioning that? If anything, if Fluffy gets a shot at the title, he might be the first one to cancel a fight against Chimaev. But I think the biggest concern with Chimaev holding the belt isn't canceled fights, it's inactivity by choice. Now that he has the title, and knowing he has health issues, there's no reason for him to rush. I could easily see a world where Khamzat does the bare minimum to hold on to that belt, fighting once a year. So I actually think Sean is right that Khamzat could hold up the division, just not because of injury or illness, but because of strategic inactivity. And as it stands right now, more than likely, Imavov has dibs on the next title shot. Imavov. Unless Hernandez or Strickland absolutely blows us away with a spectacular performance this weekend. But I think either way, Imavov will get it first, and then it's the deciding of the two. And I can guarantee you, if Strickland wins in some crazy way, empathise, and the UFC offers him that title shot, you bet your ass he's taking it. Would it be one-sided? Probably. But let me tell you something. The build-up for Strickland versus Chimaev would be unfucking believable. The trash talk, the back and forth, the press conferences, it would be wild chaos, dude. And that alone might just be worth it over the fight itself. So let me ask you, fine feathered bananas. If Strickland beats Fluffy this weekend, do you think he deserves an immediate title shot over Imavov? Or should he have to fight one more contender first, or just straight up not get the title shot at all? Now we got to talk about Ian Garry, my friends. We have to talk about Ian Garry. Ian Garry. Ian Scary. Ian Garry is a scary boy. Ian Garry is scary. No, he's not. But this is our third segment of the day because Ian Garry is in Georgia. As it would seem, it's pretty much seems to be confirmed that Ian Garry is going to fight Islam Makhachev for the title. It all started during a post-fight interview when Ian said that if he were ever matched up with Islam, he would immediately fly to Georgia to work with the wrestlers over there to properly prepare. Let's listen to the man himself now. Talk on the old mic. Back when he had a post-fight press conference. I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of them.
I promise you, I told you at that interview, I'm coming to Georgia. I told all of you, I will come to Georgia because Georgia has phenomenal wrestling, phenomenal judo, phenomenal sambo. And when you are trying to prepare for someone like Islam Makhachev, I'm going to need that. So Georgia, I'm hollering to you guys. I'm going to need your help. So every southpaw wrestler, every guy that thinks he's going to be like Islam Makhachev, we need to find a place. I will see you there, and I will call for your help. I promise. We need to...
He will call for your help. I remember him saying this. I remember. Okay? And then, just a few days ago, he posted this picture here. Kunk. Look at this, folks. British Airways, Tbilisi, now boarding all customers. It looks like he flew straight to Tbilisi, Georgia. There's really no other reason he would be there. But before we go any further, let me just say this, okay? Ian Garry is insanely good at slowly building hype around himself. He does this all the time. He leaves little breadcrumbs. It doesn't matter who his next opponent is. He's always planting seeds, always setting the narrative. Not a lot of fighters do that. He's very good at promoting himself, especially at a time when the UFC isn't doing doing as much of the heavy lifting in that department. Now, even though Ian is good at this, I still feel like he isn't fully recognized outside of the hardcore MMA fans. But that's besides the point. At first, it was speculation whether he was going to Georgia. Then a video popped up online of him actually there learning some of the language. Which I have that right fucking here.
Now you get me. Madloba, Sakatvalo. I need to come closer. 1 second. Lo. Yeah. Now repeat. Okay. Sakat. So is it all together? All together. Sakatvalo. Yeah. Exactly. Georgia. Now I forget. I talk Madloba. Oh fuck. Georgia. Madloba, Sakatvelo.
Very good, Ian. Very good job. Okay, and there's one other video that I have to show. I totally forgot to line this shit up. Let me show it here. Ah la 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 la. Ah la 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 la. It's got the Islam music. It's the Islam Dagestani music, dude. Look. Look at this guy. Look at him drink that water. He's got the Venom shirt on and the Venom shorts. Look at him. Oh, he's cool, dude. Oh, look at the Georgia flag. Look, it's so subtle. It's just so subtle. He doesn't straight up say anything. He just gives little subtle hints. Now, as much as I believe Ian is not going to defeat Islam, we have to look at his credentials, okay? He's 17-1-0. His only loss came to Shavkat in December of 2024, a very close split decision. And since then, Shavkat hasn't returned to the sport after being injured in that fight and needing multiple surgeries. And let me just specify, he was injured prior to that fight, and it got re-injured during the fight. Ian is 10-1 in the UFC, 7-0 in Cage Warriors. His last 7 fights include Bilal Muhammad, Carlos Prates, Michael Venom Page, Jeff Neal, Neil Magny, and Daniel Rodriguez. He is constantly improving, constantly expanding his knowledge, constantly traveling to level up. After his win against D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez, he went to Australia to train with Izzy. He went to Brazil to Shudo Box to train with Charles Oliveira. And now, with what appears to be a title fight against Islam, he's going to arguably the next best place on the planet for wrestling, Georgia. Obviously, he can't go to Dagestan. That's Islam's territory. But that's what makes Ian impressive. He's incredibly good at making connections and reaching out to the right people to get exactly the type of training that he needs. That's one of the biggest reasons he's excelled the way he has. And even though he lost to Shavkat, it was razor close. Now let's be honest. I don't think Ian beats Islam. I don't think Morales beats Islam. I don't think Prates beats Islam. I don't think Brady, Usman, Edwards, Buckley. Frankly, I don't think anyone in the top 15 does. And I won't even mention Bilal because they've already agreed they would never fight each other. And Bilal wouldn't win anyway. But here's the key. Even if I don't think Ian wins, he is the one who deserves the shot. Because for a while there, it looked like the UFC was thinking about heading towards Kamaru Usman for this opportunity. And luckily, as of right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. The welterweight division is one of the hottest divisions in the sport right now. And Islam is the pound for pound number one. A man who is dangerously close to becoming one of the greatest ever. If not the greatest ever. Close to it. He's not there yet. Don't twist my words, motherfucker. This is an almost impossible challenge for anyone. But if you're going to give someone that opportunity, it should be the guy who is actively chasing greatness, traveling the world, preparing at the highest level, and willing to go anywhere to improve. So is there a world where Ian Garry defeats Islam? It feels almost impossible. But in MMA, we've seen crazier things. Ouch. So let me ask you this. If Ian Garry gets this title shot, does he beat Islam? Or is there not a goddamn chance in hell he stands a chance? Okay, let's just go over some other news here. Okay? Conor McGregor. He's been hot and heavy lately, but the motherfucker posted something on X. Look what it says here. Should we zoom into this? Let's zoom in so we get a real good crispy look at this. I've been offered an opponent and a date, and I accept. Waiting on my contract. You got to be kidding me. Here's the thing about Conor McGregor. How many times have we heard him say this? How many times have we heard the motherfucker say this? Now, this is different, though. This is different because we've got the White House. So the chances of this actually having some truth to it is higher than normal. Okay? Is he going to stick to his word? I don't know. It's so hard to trust Conor. He's let us down so many times. So many times. Okay? And who knows if he's even telling the truth with this tweet here. You can't trust anything. You can't trust anything until there's an official announcement. And even at that point, you still can't trust him. Because we've had multiple official announcements. We've had posters made. Okay? We had press conferences in Ireland lined up, ready to go for Conor McGregor and Chandler. And the day it was supposed to happen, it was canceled, along with the fight. But that was announced a few days later. So we aren't going to know, even if it's confirmed, even if Dana White gets his bald head on his cell phone camera and lamely announces the fact that Conor McGregor will be on the White House, it doesn't mean anything. Because until we see him step out into that octagon, all this means nothing. And again, who knows if he's even talking about the White House card? Who knows if he's even telling the truth? I don't know. But what I do like is the fact that I know he's training because we see him post all the time. We think he's sober because he keeps posting about it all the time. It seems like his life has turned around, but I don't know. I don't know. But this is some news. It's news, whether it's good news or bad news or fake news or whatever. It's still news, and it's something we need to keep our fucking eyeballs on. Okay? And in other news of people who have announcements, Alex Pereira was on a I don't know, a vlog or a fucking interview with Walter Walker of all people, and the motherfucker said this: "My next fight is very close to being announced." Okay, and then they were talking about the heavyweight division, and they were talking about Tom Aspinall, and listen, there's no doubt in my mind that Alex Pereira is moving up to heavyweight, and it's not just a matter of moving up to heavyweight, it's moving up to heavyweight to fight for the vacant title, because as sad as it is for me to say, Tom Aspinall is going to get stripped. It hasn't been announced, but I guarantee you that's going to happen. You know, there could be some fucking thing, there could be something happening out there where all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're getting Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall, and it's like, it's going to fucking throw us for a loop, because it's going to be like, what the fuck? But there's no way. All right, Pizza Carroll already covered how Tom can't see, and he's got all these things going on with him in terms of, you know, not being able to shake hands, not being able to fucking hit pads properly, I don't know, yada yada. So, you know, the business has to move on, whatever, I get it. So it's more than likely going to be Alex Pereira versus fucking Cyril Gane. Oh, I hate to say that, but that's probably going to be it. All right? Because I can't imagine it's John Jones. John Jones will never come back to the UFC. If he does, holy shit, I will shit my pants. I will shit my pants in public if he does. I will. I'll go out in the public, town square, and I will shit my fucking pants. I will announce it to everyone. Hey, everyone, gather around. I'm about to shit my pants. And I will. I'll put poop in my pants. Because what else is Alex going to do? Huh? I know he's going up to heavyweight. That's why the Yuri Olberg fight hasn't been announced yet. Because they need to finalize this stuff first. All right? If Alex wasn't going up to heavyweight, Yuri and Olberg, or Olberg versus Alex would be announced, or whatever. There'd be something. Okay? Alex is moving up. And once that shit gets announced, then we're going to hear Yuri Prochazka versus Olberg for the vacant lightweight title. Alex Pereira versus, more than likely, Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title. Which means we're going to have Alex Pereira as the heavyweight champ Or at least he better fucking maul Cyril Gahn. Absolutely. I hope he fucking destroys that motherfucker. Beats him to an absolute pulp. Crush him. Fucking annihilate him. Make him suffer. And then Alex will be the heavyweight champion. And we'll also have Yuri as the light heavyweight champion. Because there's no fucking way Ulberg is beating Yuri. There's no fucking way. Imagine that. Yuri and Alex, champs, at the same time. Oh, what a beautiful world. What a wonderful world we'd live in. Gosh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? That's what we need. That's what we need, okay? It was also announced that Mr. Zabit Sharapov has been signed to ACBJJ. ACBJJ, the boy's back. The boy is back in town. Boy is back in town. But it's a BJJ comp. You know, it'll still be good, and he's obviously going to kick some fucking schmass. But let's get him back into the UFC. Come on, man. Let's get him back. Get him back to the UFC. This is the guy we need, okay? This is the guy we need. That's old news. Don't care about that. Sean O'Malley had said that he hasn't received a call yet to be on the White House card, but that doesn't mean anything, okay? Because Dana... Oh, I guess this is kind of relevant. Yes, okay, because Dana said we have two different options here. Let me play this Dana clip here. Dana! Dana the Spainer. Let's listen to Dana, shall we?
And then obviously, look, you had the matchmaking for the White House. I know you're not announcing anything tonight, but I'm sure you have a framework and an idea in mind of what that card looks like. What can we expect? How many title fights? What does the White House look like?
We have like two different options laid out, and the matchmaking process has already started. So, yeah, we got the White House card done last week.
The card is done already to go?
Yep.
Nice. How many title fights are you able to say?
No. I'm not saying anything.
Hey, Dana, over here. And then obviously, look.
He's not saying anything, and that's okay. We'll find out eventually. But what he did say is there's two different options, okay? But let's just, before we get into that, let's listen to what Sean O'Malley had to say.
Yeah, they said they were starting the White House card last week, Tuesday matchmaking. They said they were starting it.
Damn.
I haven't got a call. I haven't got a jingle. I haven't heard nothing. So the old Sugar Show might not be on the White House. Don't. No, it's still far. It's still so far out. Like, I don't know. I'm seeing John Jones. I'm seeing GSP maybe.
I seen that.
Conor versus Nate. Yeah, they said there's.
Which, by the way, thank you, Sugar Sean, for bringing that up. GSP, of all people, has been on the social media making these really cryptic messages lately. And why don't we go ahead and snarfle through them? I don't know if it was his Instagram or his twits. Let's go. Let's check this out. How do I get here? How do I search? How do I search? Right here. George Saint Pierre. What's this motherfucker saying? Here it is. That's not the first one, is it? Oh, he's fucking speaking French. Actually, you know what? Let me go to his fucking X account as well. Sorry for the delay here, folks. Grab yourself a beverage. While you're waiting. Grab yourself a beverage. Okay? George St. Pierre. Aha. Oh, yeah, he did two fucking tweets. Okay, let's look here, folks! Okay, February 9th, he says, I like to leave, but I like to come back. Only fool never change mind. Ego must give way to logic, not emotion. Okay? Only fools never change their mind. I like to leave, but I like to come back. And then he posts this on his Instaslam. If I told you I'm training right now, most people wouldn't understand what I'm doing. And he's looking at a wall and some noises are happening and he's looking around and Who knows what the fuck he's up to? Okay? But I'll tell you what. If somehow the UFC convinced George St. Pierre to come back to the UFC, I will, and I mean this, shit my pants in Town Square. Okay? Whether it's John Jones or especially GSP, of all people, I could not imagine them possibly bringing GSP back. GSP had the mindset of, when I'm retired, that's it, I'm done, I'm out. How the fuck could they convince him to come back? And who would it be? There's no way it's going to be Kebab. But could you imagine if it was? Could you imagine if Khabib came out of retirement? But there's no way, okay? George, okay, I guess I could see. But Khabib, no way, dude. Don't even bring that up. There's nothing you can do to bring Khabib back, okay? They are solidified in their actions. They do not step away from their word. Their word is their bond. That's what makes them so good at everything that they do. They're very cemented in their ways. You cannot change their mindset. And that's how I thought George St. Pierre was. I didn't think you could convince that motherfucker to come back. And I'm not saying he is. He might just be saying this cryptic stuff to, to pull some Tom Aspinall bullshit where he's promoting some sort of sponsor. But who knows? By the way, do you think Champion is still going to sponsor Tom Aspinall, depending on the outcome of his situation here? I don't know, dude. I don't know. But that's kind of all I got for you right now, okay? Okay? There was a press conference for the fights upcoming this weekend, so you can check that out. Sean Strickland's always fun on those. If you're a little bit sensitive, I'd suggest not watching them because he really always dives deep into specific hot topics. And remember, get yourself the fight prediction sheet. This is free and available. Link in the description. Just download it. Just print it off. Don't be shy. Okay, if you want a digital version that you can use your phone with, I'm working on it. It will happen. Okay? But the reason why I make them printable is so that you can print them off and hand them out during your fight nights. Okay? Because not everyone's going to want to use their phone, but if you give them a physical sheet, they know how to use it, okay? So that's it for this episode of the DynamiteGizmo podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Also remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and this weekend I will be doing a standing solo watch party. Please join and play some UFC bingo and have some fun. Drink some drinks, eat some snacks. Bye!